Hello, welcome to Limewall. Today in this video we're going to be trying to test if it is worth getting a trade route to start the game with. So with your first territories, you basically start with one town with a dock there and expand with your first lot of territories to get to the other town with a dock, so that you can instantly get a trade route up, and all the money I spent at the beginning was straight into getting the docks. Now you can't fully complete it, but you can get close. Now, obviously, in late game, this would be great if you don't have to worry about an enemy early on. However, we have an enemy right at the beginning. And just so you know, this was a game I tested myself. This is me, and I'm casting a game that I played. So this is a bit weird for me, but we're going to try and see how it goes. I'm not the best of players in this game, and I'm probably not as good as some of the other players we've battled, or seen battling. And we are against Neck. And I haven't watched the replay, so I don't actually know what he did. So he went for one town, 2 industry. He went heavily in it, or 3 industry, I think. So he went heavily into eco. And he did what looks to be 2 factories and a barracks. No, 3 factories. That is definitely 3 factories. But he spent his instant cash on eco. But his eco is quicker to set up, because he can get it straight away. And, well, industry are cost effective, to be fair. However, trade route is best in the long run, I think. But I just thought it would be a nice little test to see how it goes. And this is a short match, so we're going to see who ends up winning out of trade route economy versus regular economy. So I had a unit there. I just want to try and target that and get it out of the way. I saw that he went into some eco, and I thought if I can get rid of it, that would definitely help me. I was hoping he would ignore me, to be honest. I was hoping he'd just miss it. I knew I couldn't do it if he came back for me, but you know, you got to risk some things sometimes. I got some units over here, and obviously I went for 1 water so I could get to this place. So I am down a couple of units, and I've only gone for barracks because I was low on economy at this point, because my economy isn't fully set up yet. I've still got to wait for the boats to be built to go back and forward. And I do have a bit of eco from the docks itself and from the towns. I knew I was going to be playing defensively, so I set up a factory really far away as I could. Obviously, I could have set some up here, and I think that's probably a better place to have done it. But I wanted to try and defend this area. If I lose the stocks, then what was the point in doing the strategy in the first place? So I have to defend this area. I was really concerned that I'm very exposed. I can see all of his units coming up here. So I brought these units down instead of trying to capture land. I've still got some units expanding up here, so I felt I was okay to do this. And I can see he's got artillery, and that's going to be a problem for me. So in my mind, I wanted to get some helicopters in. There's my first boat that's coming out. I wanted to get some helicopters in to take it out. I thought if I bring in these units, I might be able to get there quick enough before that artillery becomes a problem, and I can take it out, sort of, you know, snipe the individual artillery. From his perspective, he can pretty much see what I'm doing here. He probably is a bit confused as to why I've only got 3 territory, and because he can't see this territory. He doesn't know that I crossed, and I wouldn't normally have needed to, so he doesn't really know what my intentions were. But maybe he could figure it out with the docks. But he is putting on a lot of pressure to me. He literally went for expanding at first, and he pretty much gave up on it and put all the pressure on me in the end, by the looks of this. So I've obviously swung some units around to try and defend the area. And if I have a look back now, because obviously with 2 docks being placed, I get 2 boats, because they were placed at the same time. Both of them start producing a boat each, and that means we're trading. So when they go in, that should equate to a decent amount of trade. And now, before the conflict really gets into it, I'm going to have a look at the economy. So right now I'm on about 530 per minute, and Neck is on 500 per minute. And I think he's got a lot more territory than me, so eco-wise, I think the trade route is a beneficial thing to do. Probably the most effective territory if you don't start close to your opponent. If you start far enough away, I think this would be a really good thing to do. Rather than trying to go for a town or city, I think the eco trade route, because it's cheap to set up, it's already at like maximum, I can then focus on other things like getting these back up. If I had any, that is. So that, I think that would normally be a good starting thing to do if I expected the opponent to be a bit further away. Honestly, I just did this because I saw it was there. I didn't find a specific map, so I think the interest is quite literally in the center of the map. I've been trying to find an island with like 1 trade route on it in one corner, but I couldn't do it, so I thought I'd just go with this map. But yeah, he's got quite a large force against me now. He's got his artillery firing. They're not a critical mass, but compared to my puny army here, they pretty much are. I'm not going to do any damage. He's overpowered me here. I can't destroy this area. But I have tried to go for the airfield. I have tried to defend this area. I'm realizing as well that I can't lose this area, otherwise my tactics pretty much, well, my strategy is lost. And yeah, so I thought I could use this as energy if I needed to. But I also have this one here, so it doesn't matter too much. So that's on my mind at this point in the game, is trying to get my energy to work so these helicopters don't just fall out of the sky randomly. Not that that's what happens, but you know what I mean. But the trade route economy, even though he's taken my territory, let's see if that has really affected it. So it's 600 per minute now, and he is on 520, so he is still going up, and he is expanding a little bit. He's also building more economy over here. But my trade route is holding up on him, even though I'm losing territory to him. I am gaining a bit of territory up here. So maybe it is more my expanse that's doing this, because I don't think he's expanding at all. And I think he's struggling with money a bit too, but he's focused on artillery. He's literally gone factories and artillery. So maybe that's what I should have done. Instead of going for infantry, I should have went with artillery, and it doesn't matter about what I'm losing in the process. So maybe that was my choice. Like, he's got the counter to me, so that's probably another thing to consider here. But he can see that I've got a trade route set up already, and that's probably why he's trying to apply a lot of pressure on me and not so much expand. Because he knows that I've gone for a long process. And so did he really, but he focused straight on factories. He wanted to get his artillery up as high as possible before I did. Whereas I wanted to see what was going on in the map and using infantry to do it. I have brought in a helicopter. Let's see if I've sorted out my energy, because I can't remember. I'm building it. See, I don't like building energy too early, because it's a waste of capital early on, which I could be using elsewhere, like in the factories. But my energy will survive long enough for this to get built. So there's no point in doing it too early. I don't think I've ever wanted to try and go for energy right at the beginning of the game. But yeah, so far, it's not looking good. And I remember typing to him that this was just a test. Towards this point, maybe a bit later in the game. But yeah, he's got SAM units in. He already counted my air units before I did, but I think that's just a natural thing to do when you got this amount of artillery, is build a couple of SAM units to go in there. And then you build some more later on, and, you know, just depends on the size of your artillery army. He's going for air units as well. And he's pretty much built a good front line against me. And notice his production is in this curve that I like seeing. I don't like seeing it used against me, I'll be honest. But that curve will present a stronger line when it comes into the battle, especially the way he's put his lines in there. Yeah, we got that. I've got my helicopter trying to come in around there. I've spotted these, so I've put my helicopter to come in through this angle. I've put it there, so it literally comes in that way. He notices, I think, or the SAMs have just automatically started to target these. And I don't think helicopters can really survive much. I need to delete that straight away, because the SAMs will destroy my helicopters. But yeah, so he's got artillery spreading out around here. I'm trying to expand this area, trying to get my eco up at this point. I do have a lot of eco. I probably should have spent some more of it. I think I was a bit undecided on what I should do, because I've lost this now. I don't really know what I can do, because that was my whole strategy. My eco's pretty much gone, but has it killed it? So I've got 600 per minute now. I think that's pretty much down. That one's at 595, was it? Yeah, 595. So we're both about the same eco at this point. But the match has ended now. As soon as I lost that structure, I was like, that's it, game over. Because that was what the test was. So, if you like this video, then let me know in the comments. And if you want to see me try any other sort of strategies, let me know. And I'll see what I can do. But after this, it will be the tournament that I'm going to be running. So, well, not running. I'm not running it. I will be commentating for it on this channel. I'll be trying to see the videos that we've got on there coming out soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.